The final 5 games, what do they mean for the Browns' most important people? And I'm referring to an article that you wrote, and kind of take us through the thought process with that.
I just wanted to look at the 3 most important people in the organization. So I kind of deemed that as Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry, and Baker Mayfield, and kind of what these 5 games can mean for each of them and sort of where they stand, coming in. Now, look, I think Andrew Berry, you don't judge a GM on 5 games. I think there's no doubt that what he's shown you, his ability to build a team, to be a fixer of problems, I think he's got that ability. Kevin Stefanski, too, there have been flaws and there's criticisms, and certainly maybe he needs to evaluate some of the play calling or, maybe the system, make some tweaks to the system. But I think you have a guy in Kevin Stefanski who can become, almost a Mike Tomlin or a John Harbaugh for this team and kind of lead them forward. So it kind of came down to these 5 games are really important for Baker Mayfield. I don't know that it's due necessarily, but if he continues to struggle, whether it's the injuries or something else, then the Browns have to at least bring a plan B into the building next year. It doesn't mean they have to replace Baker, but they have to at least have a plan B ready to go. So I think he's the guy kind of those 3 who has the most on the line, over these final 5 games. Because if he gets hot and leads this team to the playoffs and maybe wins some playoff games, all of a sudden we're almost right back to where we were a year ago saying, hey, I think this guy might be the guy for sure.
That's what makes it so bizarre. The Browns haven't played well. Nobody would argue that. And if they do the things that people expected them to do in the final 5 games, nobody's going to remember that they were 6-6 if they make the playoffs and win a playoff game or 2. No one will remember the chaos of the first 12 weeks of this NFL season.
Yeah, I mean, that's the NFL, and that's kind of what you love about it. And even Tampa Bay last year, I don't remember exactly what their record was, but they had that late week bye. And they came out of the bye and they didn't lose another football game the rest of the way, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. I don't know when they went into that bye, people were saying, okay, that's the Super Bowl favorite. I mean, they didn't even have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But they came out of the bye, they fixed things, and they never lost. And that's, I don't think the Browns are going to go to that extreme, but you can erase basically the first 12 games of the season with these last 5.